Hi guys, my name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about something that we have all noticed in the Senzo Meyiwa case. When it happens, we know it's going down. We know it's going down when that situation happens. We all know that, it's going down. It's that time. It's more like it's that time of the month for women. When that happens, there in the sense, we know it's like, we're already on, we know it's going down. We know exactly what it means. In every major criminal trial, there are moments that expose the truth. Not true what is said, but true what is done. We've seen it. Oh, we've seen it live on the Senzo Meyiwa matter. We've seen it. In the Senzo Meyiwa trial, one such moment repeats itself with unsettling consistency. It is always out there. It's like, it's always like that. Watch closely. Whenever Advocate Baloyi begins cross-examination, the approach is familiar. Direct, assertive, probing for structural weaknesses. The objective is clear there. Oh, it is very clear. Dismantle credibility of the witness. Deal with that first. Extract contradictions. Destabilize the witness. That happens with him all the time. And he's a very polite gent. I must give it to him. Sir, you are a very polite gent. You never raise your voice. You are not, your disrespect comes in a very calm manner. He is a very calm person in that courtroom. When it comes to Baloyi, professional, when it comes to being calm, he is very calm. When it comes to that, he doesn't lose his patience. He can teach me a thing or two when it comes to keeping my emotions together. The only time you will see emotions of Ubaloyi is in his face. The shock and the disbelief and the what? Did you just? You see all of that, the wedding, you see it in his face when he is dealing with something or is like dealing with someone, a witness that is being difficult to crack. You see his facial tone, they do speak. However, there are times where Ubaloyi, he will be just relaxed. He's relaxed even in that situation. There are times where he's able to contain himself. But there are times there are witnesses like Umuzi. Oh, Umuzi dealt with Ubaloyi. Oh, he moved Ubaloyi with composure, Umuzi. He dealt with him. He dealt with him. So it was like someone was training him, and that someone has dealt with Baloyi before. That whoever trained Umuzi to be able to deal with Ubaloyi was on point. I don't care who says what. Now, but when there is something happening, when there is something happening, okay, let me put it this way, but then something happens also. When the witness does not break, when answers remain coherent, when there is no contradiction to exploit, Baloyi stops. And almost immediately, the floor is handed over to Advocate Sibanda. I don't know if you guys have picked that up, but whenever there is a challenge, all of that, when Baloyi knows there is nothing to get from this, Baloyi knows which battles to go for. He knows when a witness, there is nothing to find from them. That witness is not a threat. That witness is not otherwise, when Baloyi is not going to get anything that is going to help the case from a witness, when Baloyi knows something is wrong with the witness being present in that courtroom, you will see he will hand over to the junior prosecutor, which is Dr. Sibanda, and he will come. Oh, yeah, what we dealt with is it was something else, guys. I was never entertained the way. Anyway, let me come back to what I was saying. So this is not coincidence, guys. This is strategy for Ubaloyi. In a trial advocacy, seasoned lawyers know a dangerous truth over cross-examination that can resurrect a weak witness. A witness who entered shaky can leave strengthened simply by surviving. So when questioning yields nothing, the safest move is retreat. And Ubaloyi is very smart when it comes to that. A handover. Oh, Ubaloyi will hand over when he knows there's nothing to get from there. There's nothing that you can. Instead, Ubaloyi also knew Uti, Ugwabini is dangerous grounds. Oh, he knew. He did a handover, a reset, and he was sitting down. He keeps giving ideas to this one. I hope that a new voice, a new tone, or a new line of questioning might succeed where the first failed, because he knows Uti and he could not get anything from this man. But here is the problem. When this pattern repeats, witness after witness, it begins to tell a story of its own. But it's not about coordination, but about limitation. Because strong cases do not rely on musical chairs between advocates. Strong cases press forward, they escalate, they capitalize. Instead, what we are witnessing is damage control. Whenever something is going to put them in trouble, Ubaloyi handovers. The handover becomes a silent admission. There is nothing more here. And that silence is very loud. Oh, it is very loud. To legal observers, this behavior signals that the witness is holding the line. The testimony is not collapsing. The anticipated contradictions are not materializing. Ubaloyi understands this. The supposed fragility of the state witness simply isn't being exposed. And that creates a bigger problem, because the defense theory relies heavily on the assumption that these witnesses are unreliable, coached, or fundamentally dishonest. But if cross-examination cannot demonstrate that on record, the theory remains that a theory. No amount of courtroom choreography can replace substance. So in this case, it is a defense witness that is being seen that way by the prosecution. And Ubaloyi is like, Andizi na. Oh, Andizi, deal with it mfethu. Deal with it mfethu. Because if the theory relies heavily on the assumption that these witnesses are unreliable, coached, or fundamentally dishonest, then that means cross-examination cannot demonstrate that. On record, the theory remains the theory, just that a theory. That's what it is. But no amount of courtroom drama can help this, because the drama that we were exposed to yesterday, oh my God, oh my God. And the court record does not care about optics. It cares about answers. This is why public skepticism has intensified, not faded. People are not reacting emotionally. They are reacting observationally, because we are like, what do you mean by that? They are seeing experienced advocates hesitate. They are seeing lines of questioning abandoned. They are seeing witnesses exit the box intact. That's what we've been seeing, Vele. And they are drawing conclusions. The uncomfortable truth in this, when a witness survives sustained cross-examination by multiple advocates, the credibility deficit shifts. It shifts away from the witness and onto the strategy attacking them. Ubaloyi knows this. He sees it. This does not mean the witness is perfect. It means the attack is ineffective. And in criminal trials, of this magnitude, ineffective attacks are fatal, because suspicion cannot replace proof. Reputation cannot, repetition cannot replace evidence, and tactics cannot manufacture contradictions where none exist. So the next time you see the handover happen, pause, ask yourself, is this coordination or is it consension? Because in court, silence is not neutral. Silence is information. And in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, that information is becoming impossible to ignore. And Ubaloyi has shown us multiple times, time and again, whenever a witness, he knows that there is nothing to get from that witness, there is nothing you can find that is going to help their narrative, he shifts, he hand over to Sibanda. And Sibanda thinks that Ubaloyi is tired or Ubaloyi is giving him an opportunity. Shame, man. Oh, what a shame. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.